All right, folks, we are in the still the early stages, I think, of this winter storm that's expected this weekend. And I'm going to take a little brief camera tour, and then we'll talk all things winter again here in a few minutes. I'll have to keep you a while, but I'll try to get this done as efficiently as possible. Now, looking here in Alexandria, we see temperatures just above freezing. If we got an overcast sky, another area of precipitation moving through. You can see a little reduced visibility. There's also fog mixing in with this, which is common as well. In fact, in Leesville, we can see low overcast and fog kind of obscuring things over in that direction. And temperatures there just very near freezing. A little bit warmer to the south in St. Landry. We've got 37 degrees. Winning some gumbo from Stelly's. Tastes good right now. You can go down there and get you some, or if you live down there, just a little travel. No icy roads down there yet. And I think St. Landry, for the most part, kind of gets spared, quote unquote, from this. So that's the view there. And let's go to another destination, this one over in Gina, where we see the icicles on the cam there to the right. And we see the structure. And then looking in the distance, now this camera's higher than some of the others. We're seeing a little drip off an icicle, looks like there, and reduced visibility as well. Natchitoches, we're seeing bad visibility, fog across the area. And once again, Natchitoches has had some icy conditions. In Toledo Bend, we've got the view here. Looks like there's a little ice on the road, or at least there has been at times. Okay, so latest thoughts and trends. Here's three things that I'm going to bring out here immediately. Right now, we have another area of mixed precipitation moving through central Louisiana. I'll show you radar in just a bit. There will be, and this is perhaps the most important thing, is there will be a major increase in mixed precipitation overnight and Sunday morning as the main system lifts out of the southwest. It's over Baja right now, and so it will lift out quickly and head this way. As it does, that will provide extra lift in the atmosphere. We should see temperatures cooling off a bit here during the overnight as the cold air continues literally to ooze down through central Louisiana. Yeah, it's crawling. And so with those two factors combined, I think the worst is yet to come. So some folks may be saying, well, those guys, they missed the forecast again. But let's see, give us some time to, because once that Baja system comes this way and we cool down a bit, again, I think the worst is still yet to come. The event will end quickly Sunday afternoon and evening as the system moves out, but then the weather headline turns to the leftovers and how cold it gets. So we see right now, this is that second area of precipitation. Most of this rain until you get up into areas to the northwest of us. Big winter storm continues all the way out to the west in the southern plains, Dallas-Fort Worth. They've had a really nasty winter storm there with a lot of sleet coming down. Looks like the freezing line kind of from time to time mixed in with the liquid, still across portions of Sabine, Natchitoches, and Wynn parishes, a little bit in LaSalle parish, then points northward. Thankfully, Shreveport-Bossier getting a break. They were kind of hard hit earlier today with a good bit of precip. So that's what's happening as far as the actual rainfall right now, and mixed bag that we're seeing. Winter storm watches, warnings, and all kind of advisories out all across this region, so you see how widespread this thing is. A little closer look at the alerts. These are the more significant winter things, and I'll detail those. St. Landry, as I said, will probably get spared. The worst of it is going to be, I think, in this Sabine, Natchitoches, Wynn, Grant, and LaSalle corridor right in through here. It could dip down into northern Vernon or Rapides Parish some, but again, that pretty well delineates the maximum threat. Here's the situation. See that little twist across Baja? It's going to be kicked out by this system coming in from the west. Look at the twin highs here, providing the cold air. All right, so you can see as far away as that system is, it's stacked up all the way back into West Texas and New Mexico. We've got a while to go. As I said, this is still in the early stages of this. So the icing set up here for the remainder of the PM hours. Once again, as that Baja low lifts out, we're seeing and little disturbances come out ahead of it. It's kind of like it sheds this energy in that southwesterly flow off. So a little piece of energy came through earlier today. We got another one causing the uptick in the precip this evening. But each time that does, that kind of initiates a little frontal wave along the front, which is to the south of us. Okay, so warmer air here. New Orleans is in the mid 50s. We're back here in the 30s and 20s farther to the north. Okay, so there's a warm front there. And along that boundary is where we get that surface low develop, or that wave, and that provides lift in the atmosphere. And that's partially why we're seeing an uptick on the radar just now. But also what it does, it can allow temperature fluctuations as well. If the warm air wins a little bit, well, the cold air nudges back to the north. So there's a battle going on along this zone for superiority. Eventually, the cold air, it's heavier, more dense, it's going to win out. So icing set up for Sunday morning. This is the worst of it here. Back as we finally get through that low, it begins to get on the backside. I think this is a little fast track, though, than what's really going to happen. If we get on the backside of it, and again, that's all part of that uptick that I'm talking about. It's going to happen overnight and into tomorrow morning. And there'll be a fresh surge of the coldest air. Okay, the ooze part of the situation, what I would call, I've been calling that front an ooze because it's so slow moving. This is a quicker thing, and the cold air is deeper there. So, and that is what's going to push the temperatures down into the teens here for a couple of mornings as we get into next week. Now, Futurecast, let me step you through this. Through midnight, we'll still see precipitation in and around the area. And then once we get into later tonight, this might be a little slow, but it's got the right idea. We'll see a big uptick in the frozen precip there going into Sunday morning. And I don't know if any church services are going on, but I kind of doubt it, because things will be rocking and rolling pretty good in the frozen land here for Sunday morning. And then this is through mid-morning Sunday. And then we see, according to this model, and there's some truth to this, I think, a fairly quick exit out of here by the PM hours on Sunday. So weekend liquid amounts, this is another thing I want to bring because it's being ignored in many areas and many forecasts. But this is significant rain. We are still in a drought and we need rain. And this is going to be a good rainfall producer. So total, in addition, not addition, but including what we had today and what we'll get tonight and tomorrow, I still think about a ½ inch to 1.5 inches will be common, and 2 to 3 inches will be possible. And everybody gets in on the liquid action as well with this. And it kind of reminds me of the second system in the February 2021 outbreaks. So here's the bars for, and this has been revised, Sabine, but not much. So Sabine, Natchitoches, Wynn, Grant, and LaSalle, that's where I expect the worst. I think a ½ inch to 1 inch of ice accumulation will cause a major situation overall. So overall, this is a 4 out of 5. This only has 4, but I kind of group it. It's kind of hard to explain, but it's a 4 out of 5 with this. Snow, practically nothing. There could be just a dusting up in those parishes, but nothing important. And then ice, of course, will be a major deal. Wind's not a big deal. Temperatures will be significant as we get that for Monday and Tuesday morning. Let's go to some of the impact graphics here for that. As far as power, utility, and cell service and those type things are concerned, I think we're looking at, again, a major widespread event in those parishes. Okay, travel. Well, let me get back to the outages. I think will be widespread. Those outages could last, I'm thinking, up to a week. If in some of those areas that get that inch of glaze and ice accumulation, historically, power outages last a week in some of those locations. Travel will be horrible. There will be areas where it will be impossible to travel, or it will take a while to be able to travel in some of those areas. All the roads are going to be slick and iced over. So again, it's going to be dangerous and disruptive With that, closures and disruptions, that's already happening. It's going to continue to happen and get worse as this thing progresses. And as we move into the early part of next week with the leftovers there'll be disruptions into next week from that. And tree damage will be significant and widespread. It's going to be a lot of damage to trees if we get the half inch to an inch ice accumulation there. And that will bring trees down, that will bring many limbs, branches. Some of those branches will be very large, and unfortunately, sometimes in these situations they fall on homes or vehicles, and that's one aspect of the fatalities that we get in winter storms, in addition to travel, the slick roads, being unsafe, handling with generators, and then you get the trees or large branches falling on homes or vehicles, and so fatalities can happen there. All right, so that's the worst of it in Cenla. Next worst, I think, is going to be Rapides, Vernon, Avoyelles, Catahoula, and Concordia. This is going to be a disruptive thing. A scale out of 5, I'm rating it a 3 overall. Here's the overall bar. Again, snow. If you get anything, you'll be lucky down here. Wind, not a big wind producer. All we could see 15, 20 plus in gust, and that drives the chill in. Ice will be the major deal. And then the temperatures, as we go again, have 2 mornings consecutive where we have a severe freeze. All right, so Rapides, Avoyelles, Vernon, Catahoula, Concordia parishes, this is for you. These are impacts, utilities, power, cell service, and those type things. Not as bad as the previous, but bad enough. Okay, this is in kind of a disruptive category here. We'll see significant scattered power outages. Not as many as the areas to the north of us where there's more ice accumulation expected, but it will be significant here as well, just not as much. Travel will be, once again, really hard. It'll be dangerous, and it should be discouraged, and there'll be lots of closures. Probably every or almost every bridge in this part of the state and north will be closed down to some extent. Disruptions are already happening and will continue to happen again into early next week as we try to get back to civilization as we start school and work once again. And tree damage, not as much as up north, but it will be scattered and significant. Some trees could be brought down with this, as well as large limbs and a lot of branches and debris like up north, but again, just not as numerous. And of course, that still leaves room for a rogue tree or branch to fall into a home or vehicle and injure or cause a fatality. All right, so Beauregard, Allen, and Evangeline, you're not going to get by without any effects. Rated at the top end of nuisance there for you folks. Hardly much in the way of snow, but the ice will be the main thing again there, as additional ice accumulation or ice accumulations could reach somewhere between a tenth to a quarter or third of an inch in those locations. By the way, in the previous group, I think I failed to mention that a quarter to a half inch or so will be likely in that area. Temperatures will be a big issue also for Beauregard, Allen, and Evangeline for Monday and Tuesday morning. So the issues as far as impacts are concerned, power, cell service, and utilities still scattered, but not quite as much as the Rapides group or the group up to the north. But you'll have your share of some power outages in that location that won't be as severe because in some of those areas up north, especially, that get that inch of ice, that damages the infrastructure, utilities, and that causes major issues. That causes a lot of power lines could be downed and that type of thing. So there's less of that. Not saying it's not going to happen in Beauregard, Allen, and Evangeline, but it's going to be less than areas in the higher end threat bracket there. Travel will be bad, but not as bad as some of the, not as widespread as some of the other areas. But again, it's going to be dangerous in some areas and discouraged in many areas as well. Closures and disruptions will be significant, widespread, pretty much, as that's already happening as folks get ready. I know church services tomorrow have been canceled in many areas, and then I'm probably believe all schools in central Louisiana, or 90% of them, will not have school Monday morning. And then going into the tree damage, less on the low end is scattered. You'll have your share of tree damage there, and some of you will have to pick up that in your yards and on property, and probably on roofs, rooftops, or something like that. And again, a rogue tree or branch, large branch, could fall on a vehicle and kill or injure somebody with that. It's always that possibility. And be safe with the generators, folks. That causes issues as well. So with St. Landry, this is a file group by itself, because this will be the least affected parish from the way things stand right now. So you can see that all the bars are pretty low. Temperatures still significant, but it won't be quite as bad as far as the cold down there, but it will definitely be at least a hard freeze, if not a severe freeze. And then isolated power outages. If you get power outages, they will probably be solved within a day down in St. Landry, or less, a matter of hours. Travel, it's not going to be great. There'll be less closures, less disruptions, but there will still be some there. And then as far as your travel, again, there'll be slick spots on roads that you got to be careful for. Always the bridges. I do look for certainly some bridge closures in St. Landry. And then going into the tree damage, less, but some. And could be a few power lines down depending on how much icing you get. I'm thinking that certainly it's going to be less than a quarter inch in St. Landry, and maybe somewhere around a 1/10 of an inch or a 1/100th of an inch, which is just a glaze. But that does cause some issues, just not as many as the other parishes that are going to get a more severe storm. All right, now we're back to the 7-day forecast. Thanks for listening to me on that. I hope I informed you, gave you some news you could use. So 100%, mainly in the AM for Sunday, with additional mix. Remember the big events coming in tonight and Sunday morning. 27, 33, your temperatures there for Sunday. We bottom out about 18 Monday morning. Mainly, it would be colder than that, but I'm still expecting some clouds to linger on Sunday morning. Sunday night. Okay, so I'm going to hold it about 18, 34 for your high, with a mostly sunny day. So that would be cold. That's a severe freeze there at 18. Probably a range 15 to 21. And then going into Tuesday, mostly sunny, 42 high. So trying to crawl up and warm up a little bit, but a severe freeze there for Tuesday morning, as some regions could be as cold as 11 or 12, others about 20 or something like that, 19. But going into Wednesday, if I want to use the warming trend, quote unquote there, but still 25 and 48 is cold for here this time of year, certainly. And pretty chilly there Thursday, as we'll see another front come in. And look at this, folks. I know I'm sure folks have already been posting about this. We got another shot at a little mix there for Friday, Saturday, and Friday night, right in that time frame. We got 30%. It's a low confidence thing right now. Okay, so one thing to watch for is to see where those numbers go. Does it go up from 30% or down from 30%? And that'll give you an idea of how confident meteorologists are, and if that is going to happen or not. And I kept temperatures on the cold side out of respect for that, because there will be a fresh invasion of cold air from the north, not as cold as this, but cold enough, and another system coming in from the west and northwest there. So got to respect it right now. Okay, let's check out Nick Mikulas in the morning, and I'm sure he'll be around all day tomorrow. I'll be around in the forecast center as well, and updating my Facebook page and that type of thing. And who knows, I might even stream. All right, take care. Again, thanks for your support for SendLaw Weather. I hope we've been there for you during this winter storm, and we'll continue to be with you. And again, thanks for your support.